So, yet another new release I did my first impressions of about 10 to 12 days ago, and I told you guys I liked it. And so now that I got a few wears on it, how do I feel about the new Kilian Angel Share Paradis? Well, I'm going to be letting you guys know that, and as well as comparing the new Kilian 100 milliliter bottles to the 50 milliliter bottles so you guys can see the difference in person because I just got one in. But yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today, Kilian Angel Share Paradis. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka FragranceDoud, back at you with full review of a brand new release here in 2025, one that I've been looking forward to for about 2 years. And before we get into that, make sure that if you're not already, you hit that subscribe button. Everybody hit that like. Comment below, let me know if you've tried this out, what you think of it. I know the official release date was only like a day or two ago, February 1st. I did get this in pretty early from scentrush.us. You should check them out. I'm not affiliated with them outside of like I know them, but they have some really good fragrances, new releases, discontinued, stuff like that. But yeah, today we're going to be doing my full review of Kilian Angel Share Paradis. So in my first impressions, I told you guys I wasn't sure if it was Paradis, or if it was something else. Somebody said that it was Angel Share Paradis, which makes sense because that's kind of like how in France they end words that end in S. It's like E. So Angel Share Paradis, that's what we're going to go with. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I got my decan again from scentrush.us. I've worn it about 3 or 4 times now. Not anything crazy, like I haven't worn it around because the weather has been so up and down outside. It's been 0 degrees, 60 degrees. I mean, really crazy. With that said, I also wanted to talk about, just for a second, the difference between the 50 milliliter and the 100 milliliter rocks glass bottles, because they did release the 100 milliliters last year, which I just got this in. These usually run between like 350, 385. Well, these ones are usually, I'd say 185 to 210, maybe a little bit higher depending on where you're looking at, maybe a little bit lower on certain sales. With that said, the 100 milliliter ones, I'm not sure if they have them for every rocks glass bottle. I know they have them for a lot, maybe not the special editions or some of the new ones. But this one, if you look on scentrush.us, you can get this for $250, which is a pretty big steal for this size. But Angel Share, it's one of my favorite fragrances of all time. It always has been. It's a warm, boozy cinnamon bun drink, and I knew I needed another one. So here we go. We got 100 milliliter. This will last me forever. And so I ended up giving this one to my daughter to finish out, which she loves Angel Share already. She had like 2 clones in her room she wears. So with that said, we're talking about this one today. This is Kilian Angel Share Paradis. And what does it smell like? Let me spray it on my hand. So the note breakdown, I always give it to you in the full review. The top notes are cognac, liquor, and raspberry. Mid notes are tonka, Bulgarian rose, and oak moss. And the base notes are praline, oak, and sandalwood. Honestly, it sounds really good. You never know with breakdowns, but with the cognac, the liquor, the raspberry addition, then you have a little bit of Bulgarian rose, which I'm not sure if it was in the original one. Then you add some praline. You have the sandalwood that was from the original. My guess is there's going to be, and again, ambery backtone. But I already know that because I've already tried out the fragrance. And it's just, that's the first time I actually looked at the full note breakdown. And it doesn't really explain the fragrance. But at the same time, it kind of does. It's the way that you can best describe Angel Share Paradis is it's a slightly fresher, but still warm, fruity version of Angel Share. So whenever I first tried it out, when I was thinking Angel Share Paradis, I was thinking Paradise. I was thinking tropical fruits. I was thinking, like, again, I don't look at the note breakdowns until, like, I might post them for you guys, but I don't actually look at them. And the last time I posted, so this fragrance was teased March of 2024, and then it was supposed to be released in fall of last year. then they pushed it back. So I knew the note breakdown back in March of last year, and I just don't remember it. With that said, I was going into this again thinking it was going to be a tropical angel share, and at times it does smell like that, but I'm not 100% sure. That's just not my imagination running wild because of the name Paradis. And so you add in this fruitiness, and it is a slight bit fresher. And so automatically in my head, is it clicking because of the name Paradis or Paradis? That means paradise. Does that automatically make my mind automatically think that that fruitiness is some kind of tropical fruits? It might be that way. Because I remember when I first tried this, I immediately texted Ross from TLTG and I said, it reminds me of like Angel Share mixed with Icon or something like that. But after wearing it, it's not what it smells like. I mean, it has pieces of that like reminders, but I still think that's my mind playing tricks on me, because if you actually just focus and hone in on it, it smells like a slightly fresher Angel Share that has like a little bit more of like a creamy woodiness that's underneath it. Slight less of that rich ambery tone while it is still there. And then you get a little bit of the rose that kicks in that's not really too floral or anything. It just, you can notice there's a slight bit of rose. And then you put that all together and you slap some raspberry on top. And I think it smells great. It smells like a slightly fresher, still warm version of Angel Share with raspberry on top and a slight bit of rose kicking through the mid. The rose does go away, and it is a little bit more prevalent in the top, but I don't know if that's maybe where it's like the Kajal Icon, maybe Kajal Lamar style DNA, because you get that rose and jammy fruitiness. I think that might be what it is. Now that I'm thinking about it, because Kajal Icon still has some of the Kajal Lamar like style DNA underneath it, which is, all of them are kind of like a jammy fruitiness, and then you get that Turkish rose, in this case Bulgarian rose, and you mix that together, and that's where I get that. Now it does make sense. So it's not my mind playing tricks on me. So it does have that kind of Kajal Lamar, Kajal Icon. Well, it's not like, don't ask me if it smells like Kajal Lamar. It doesn't. It smells like 80% Angel Share with a fresher, more fruity top. And so if you want something that is Angel Share with a twist, then that's exactly what this is. Is it going to be redundant? I know a lot of people are going to be complaining about the price. The price point when these are released are going to be probably $350, marked down to, depending on what size you get. If you get the small, probably like $230, $240. People are going to say, why would I want to buy something that's just a twist on the original for that amount of money? I don't know. Why did you buy the original Angel Share for $200 and some dollars? I mean, because you want to spend that much money on fragrances. I can't answer the questions for you. All I can tell you is what my thoughts on the fragrance are. And my thoughts is that it's a really good twist. It has some slight redundancies for sure, but I can see these being worn in separate situations. While Angel Share itself is more of a fall fragrance that leans winter, but you can definitely see it's a fall fragrance. This fragrance, Angel Share Paradis, because of the way that they freshen it up just a bit. It's not a fresh fragrance whatsoever, but it's a slightly fresher version just because of the fruitiness and the rose. It allows it to be more worn slightly more in the daytime during the cool weather, but also it does lean into spring, which the original Angel Share doesn't. And I would say you could even wear this like 60-degree night times would be fine, 60, 70 degrees. So even in some summer nights would be fine with Angel Share Paradis. But again, it's boozy. It still has that spice, that cinnamon, but it's not as heavy. And then again, it's led in the first hour to an hour and a half by this raspberry rose top that is, again, the rose isn't too prominent. It's just kind of like adds a nice little mixing point with the raspberry. And then you just toss that on top of Angel Share. That's a little bit less ambery. That's the best way I can put it. And it almost feels like this one might be slightly more boozy. But it's neither here or there. It's just a little kicker. I just wanted to throw that in there. When you get to the dry down, that is where you notice the biggest difference in this fragrance, because a lot of people either love Angel Share because of the oaky woods, or they dislike Angel Share because of the oaky woods. And in this one, the oaky woods is downplayed a lot. It's still there. So it's like almost like an oak barrel. It's one of the more woody smells in all the fragrances. For me, it blends well with the ambery tones and the cinnamon, that it doesn't come off too prominent. Some people get it too much. With that said, this one, it's a little bit even less so. And then that is where this kind of like ambery fruitiness just kind of blends together. You get a nice little bit of this calming sandalwood floating through the fragrance. And then it gets a little bit closer to Angel Share. That is where it gets to be a little bit warmer, more sandalwood-like version of Angel Share in the dry down. Overall, I like the original Angel Share slightly better. I think this is a great take on it. I've always said I would like to see brands take their top fragrances like Angel Share or Azara with Most Wanted or whatever and just add something that would make it feel different but not extraordinarily different to where they ruin the DNA. And that's what they did here. It's, again, make up your mind if you're okay with spending the price or at least waiting 6 months until the price drops under 200. But I think that this is a worthy flanker to the original Angel Share. Angel Share Paradis, so far, the amount of times that I've worn it, it lasts just about as much as Angel Share. I mean, it's still going to be 8 to 10 hours plus. I haven't went past that because I don't wear fragrances longer than that usually. And then with the original Angel Share, I would say this one pushes out just a slight bit more, but it's really, I'm nitpicking. It's still a little bit heavy. It still has that warmth. It still has that ambery richness. But instead of pushing out at like 6 feet for the first 3 hours, it pushes out probably half that. So it's a slightly lighter version of the original Angel Share, but it's neither here or there. You can still smell it. It still lasts, and it's still a freaking good fragrance. So really, in summary, I would say this is an all-season fragrance outside of summer. During the warmer months, I would say you can wear it at night. It's a slightly fresher, fruitier version of Angel Share that just doesn't have as much of that oak barrel woods, and substitute that kind of like cinnamon ambery tone, which it still has, and just downplay that and replace it with a little bit of sandalwood and some Turkish rose or Bulgarian rose. That is what you have with this fragrance. It's not too floral or anything. And then you add like a cap of raspberry for the first hour and a half to 2 hours, which the raspberry is a lot more prominent in that first hour. Once you get to the dry down, like I'd say an hour and a half, it's just pretty much gone at that point in time, but you can just smell a little bit of fruitiness in the background. That's, again, where it gets a lot closer to like a Angel Share, but like with a bit of sandalwood. It's not too different, but make up your mind on the redundancies. It's definitely worth a decant pickup, which again you can get from scentrush.us. But let me know what you guys think if you've tried it out. Let me know what you think of the 100 milliliter bottles. I actually really like them. I've always liked these bottles, and so I want to get myself a bunch of the 100 milliliters just so I have them for the long run. With that said, I appreciate all of you guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I will be back with another one. That is Angel Share Paradis. Thank you so much. Peace out.